Welcome to another Sunday WOAY ABC4 Community Forum, where we talk to community leaders and local success stories to discuss important information that affects all of us here in Southern West Virginia. I'm your host, Brandy Lawrence, and today we're joined by another distinguished guest. Dr. Christy Dumas, who is the president of the Beckley Rotary Club, joins us this morning. Thanks so much for coming to the forum.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I know a little bit about what Rotary Club is about, but for the people out there that may not know, what does Beckley Rotary Club do?
Beckley Rotary Club does a little bit of everything. We are about service above self. This year, our theme in Rotary International is Create Hope in the World. And so where that comes from is our Rotary International president really wants us to focus this year on mental health and mental health initiatives, understanding that first, we must have hope as Rotarians. So it's working on the self so that we can provide aid and hope to other people. So it is an international organization. We are in many different countries with many different clubs who are attacking this hope and this creation in the world a multiplicity of ways. So Rotary International, and very specifically the Beckley Rotary Club, is comprised of about 105 members who really value service. They are willing to roll up their sleeves and get the job done, as well as financially support some of the initiatives. So we are really about creating that hope in the world and taking on programs. One of our biggest initiatives of Rotary International is the eradication of polio. And so we have really galvanized our forces around continuing that promise to eradicate polio throughout the world. And so we're excited about all of the things that we are doing, but we celebrated the 102nd year of Beckley Rotary Club this year of service and fellowship and help to all mankind.
Wonderful. That's really great. And to know that you all have been doing this for like over 100 years
Yes.
is like amazing. So
That's a long time.
What do you want the next century to really look like for the Rotary Club and Beckley, as the president?
So one of the things that we are really excited about, I am the first woman of color to be the president in the club, but we are excited about the infusion of diversity and inclusion and accessibility in our club. We know that DEI brings about a richness and a depth of perception, and it widens our possibilities. It brings more talent to the table, and we are so excited to see the movement in our club from, it's often been thought that Rotary is just old guys, and it's not. We have changed that. We have so many young professionals that see the value in service above self and have really bought into the concept and the tenets of Rotary International. So in the next century, I want to see even more young professionals. I want to see more women in our club. I want to see people from different nationalities and nations and backgrounds who are really driving the club. It'll be time for some of us who are a little more seasoned to step back and really let them carry the torch of service above self. I'm excited about seeing that.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, for any of the young people out there that are watching our forum right now, what would you say is one of the biggest benefits for them to really join the Rotary Club? What could they really get out of it personally?
Well, what they can get out of it is the intrinsic value of doing good. The intrinsic value of helping others and making the world a much better place. Of course, there's the fellowship that comes along with being a Rotarian and getting the benefit of the community that's being created. We create community in Rotary. That's how it started. Business people who realized that they needed community in order to be successful and in order to feel settled and grounded where they are. And so the networking is also just an integral part of what we do as leaders and as professionals who gather and come together. So there are lots of benefits in being a Rotarian.
Awesome, awesome. You know, just getting out into the community and
Absolutely.
getting to know people and also doing good. So that's wonderful. And I've noticed that you all are very accessible with your meetings and things. So
Yes.
I see you have like early morning meetings and then like you have your regular like
Yes.
Tuesday meetings. And what I was really wondering is that I see you always have these really great speakers. So like what's the process for that, you know, getting somebody to come speak at these meetings?
So it's an ask. It's us seeing a need or a subject matter area in our community that we feel our Rotarians need to be told about, that we need to be current and understand. And so it's looking around us and finding those needs, maybe those gaps in information that our members just don't have and could really, really benefit from. So we encourage people, if you have a business or an initiative that you think Rotary should know about, contact us. We'd be more than happy to get you scheduled to be a speaker for us. And I love that you brought up the accessibility. That's a huge part of our strategic plan for our club, is to make Rotary accessible. We typically, our legacy meeting is every single Wednesday at noon at Black Knight Country Club, the historic Black Knight. And we realize that for a lot of young professionals, that can be a heavy lift. Being able to leave work, block off that time to be away from the office. I'm a small business owner, so that means that if I'm not in the office, I'm not making money. And I realize that that's the same story for a lot of young professionals. So we have worked really hard to make Rotary accessible for everyone. In fact, that has been my new tagline for this year, is Rotary is for everybody. And in order for Rotary to be for everybody, it needs to be accessible to everyone. So we do have the regular legacy meeting, which is every Tuesday at noon. We also have Rotary After Hours, and we developed that to attract the young professional. So they meet virtually once a month, and they do a service project once a month. What research indicates is that young professionals are really interested in the work. They want to get their hands dirty, and they want to do service projects that have an immediate impact. So we have Rotary After Hours, and we just developed the Breakfast Club. It is still part of the Beckley Rotary Club. All of these different meeting types fall under the same umbrella. And so the Breakfast Club meets at 7:30 at Hilltop Coffee, and it is much more of an informal meeting where speakers come in. We had Dr. Glenda Waite today from Delta Kappa Gamma talking to us about the work that they do in the community and in education. She is also a long-term Rotarian, and so that is more of a very casual meeting, but it falls under the auspice of Rotary nonetheless, and people can come in, they can get their coffee, they get their Rotary meeting in, and they go to work. So we are working to make it accessible for everyone.
That's awesome. And I see how like the ideas can really flow, you know,
yes.
at an informal meeting like that. You kind of just feel like you're having coffee, you know, with your friends. So that's awesome. And you were mentioning a little bit about service projects. You mentioned, you know, the polio, and you actually have an event coming up.
We do. We have what we are calling Putt Putt for Polio. It will be in conjunction with the chocolate mousse, and we will be putting for polio. We'll have prizes and lots of good fellowship, raising money to send to the Polio Plus and the foundation of the Rotary Club to continue our efforts to eradicate polio.
Awesome. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't think about as much, you know, polio, since we don't really see it as much here in the U.S., but there are other countries that are still
countries that are still affected by it, and we are this close to eradicating it, and so we're going to continue to do the work until it's no more.
So is the event open, you know, to the public? Anybody
it's
watching
open to the public. We encourage anyone to come and be a part of this great initiative. All are welcome. Parents, children, grandparents. We want everyone to come and be a part of this great movement.
All right, guys. Well, you got the date, October 12th. So you guys come out, Putt Putt for Polio. And I love to get the community involved in community forums. So is there the need for any volunteers in the Rotary Club?
Oh, we always have a need. There's always a need for volunteers, and we encourage everyone. You don't have to be a member of Rotary to participate in any of our activities. Anytime we have community service, anytime we're doing anything in the community, we welcome everyone to be part of what we're doing.
And that might, draw in more membership as well. So.
Absolutely.
And we also, do you all take any donations? Is there any monetary way that they can help?
We always take donations. You can make payments. We do have a PayPal account, and we have Facebook Pay. We know a lot of people are on Facebook. And so whenever you want to donate, you need that tax write-off, Rotary will certainly accept your donations for our charities account. We're always doing something in the community. We always need funds. We don't do a lot of fundraising as a club. We do have a big fundraiser coming up, but we always accept donations and know that that money will go directly to the causes that we are very passionate about and that we support every year.
Awesome. And let's see. There are also board and committees within the Beckley Rotary Club.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we have a lot of committees within our club, just so that we make sure that we are divvying out, the lion's share of the work that needs to be done. But we have our foundation committee, we have our public image committee, making sure people know that we're here, that they know about Rotary and all of the work that we're doing, making sure that our branding is right and that people understand what our mission is. We have the fundraising committee to try to get some of the things that we need to do the work that we are doing. So there are a lot of different facets within the Rotary Club that really make the wheels turn.
Awesome. And to join, if anybody out there is watching that would be interested in joining, would they just need to go to the website?
They can go to our website. There are ways to join from there. There are ways to join actually from our Facebook page. We encourage people to just show up, come to a couple of meetings, and see the inner workings of Rotary and the ways that you see yourself in our mission and the ways that you can become involved and become part of us.
Awesome. All right, we're about a minute for our first break, but before we go, do you mind plugging, was it the website BeckleyRotary.org?
Yes.
We should have a lower third coming up there, and your Facebook, is it just Beckley Rotary?
Yes, Beckley Rotary Club.
All right, awesome. All right, anybody interested in joining, make sure visit BeckleyRotary.org or Beckley Rotary on Facebook. And you guys stay tuned. I will be back with Dr. Christy Dumas, the president of Beckley Rotary, and we're going to talk about everything that they're doing right now. Welcome back to Sunday Community Forum. I'm here with Dr. Christy Dumas, who's the president of the Beckley Rotary Club, and we're talking about everything that the Beckley Rotary Club does. So we were just talking, while we were on the break, and you mentioned that the Beckley Rotary Club is the second largest in the district. So you also mentioned that kind of position kind of helps you help other Rotary clubs nearby. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So being the second largest and the largest around our area really means that we are able to lend a helping hand. Because our club is so active and so visible, it garners some requests for support from some of the smaller clubs who take on very significant fundraising and other initiatives. Most recently, we've been asked by the Canyon Rim Club to assist them with a Taste of Bridge Day. And we all know how huge Bridge Day is. In fact, the organizers of Bridge Day were just at our club as guest speakers, telling us a little bit about Ridge Day and the huge economic impact that it has in our area. And so they've asked us to help, and that's really exciting to be able to fellowship and assist one another and put service above self and join with another club to help them in their financial endeavors. It's one of the ways that they support the work that they do in this area. We've also been asked to help the Hinton Rotary Club with Railroad Days. That is coming up. They are a much smaller club, I think no more than 10 or 15 people. And Railroad Days is another one of those very large events, and it is their one and only fundraiser, but they do such great work and raise a significant amount of money that it supports the work that they do throughout the year. And we are honored to be able to help them and to be part of that initiative. So being a large club does have its advantages at times, and we are lucky to have the members that we do in our club, and they make it very easy to galvanize and rally the troops and support a plethora of initiatives across our county and really district.
I love that. I love that it's really, a group effort for you all. And I think that even plugged, even the Hinton and the Canyon Rim. So like if people are watching, in Fayette County, over in Hinton, and they want to join a Rotary Club, you got one right there.
Yes, they should. They should. There's great work being done in all of these communities. I love to hear about the work that goes on in our district, but very much locally and in and around where we are. And to be able to find ways to impact that it's really good.
Yeah. And I think sometimes we don't realize just how close we are, regionally. Because I live right in Mount Hope, and you just go right up the hill, and you're pretty much in Beckley. So
absolutely,
yeah, it's all working together. So that's awesome. And we know that Halloween is coming up, and right now the Beckley Rotary Club is doing a costume vault.
Yes, so this is our third year of collecting costumes, and we know that there are a couple of other agencies who do similar work around this time. We took up this initiative because we realized that there are parts of our county that oftentimes miss out on the resources that the inner city schools have access to. And so that is something that we have become very fond of. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite, I don't know if you would consider it a holiday, but it's one of my favorite times of the year. And so I remember as a child just how important it was to have the right costume and to be imaginative and creative. And I know that I was lucky enough to have parents who supported that, who had the resources to buy me the things that I wanted and in my mind needed for Halloween. But I also remember the children who showed up to school without costumes. And I remember those children not being able to fully participate in the festivities of that day because they just didn't have the means. I also remember that teachers would have small amounts of props or pieces of costumes or parts of outfits to give to children who showed up without. And so we want to be able to make sure that every child is able to fully benefit from the activities of that day, to feel their best selves. And that links right back in to our theme for the year, creating hope in the world and understanding. I'm a psychologist, so I understand psychologically how that impacts children to not reap the full benefits of the day. And so that's one of the things that we are trying to address through this costume collection initiative. So for individuals who want in any way to participate in this, we encourage you to collect costumes and go to our Facebook page. Just leave a message, hey, I have costumes. We will come and get them from you and add them as part of our collection.
Awesome. Are you looking for any specific sizes or?
No, we are looking for all sizes.
All sizes. So everybody out there, you got any old, Halloween costumes that are still, in good condition? go ahead
Yes.
and give them to the Beckley Rotary Club. I know I have a couple, so I'll probably be contacting you guys too.
We'd love them.
And we have one of my favorite initiatives, the Imagination Library. I'm a huge reader. So what does that entail for you guys?
So it is the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, and what we are doing is signing families up at birth at Raleigh General Hospital to receive books from us. It is such a wonderful initiative. We saw it and immediately fell in love with it. We have a collaboration going with Delta Kappa Gamma as well as the Family Resource Center to really promote this Imagination Library and get families signed up to get books beginning at birth. What research indicates is that children who do not master reading by 3rd grade aren't going to. And so early intervention is key. Also, what we realized from the statistics provided to us by Imagination Library is that children in the 25801, which is generally the Beckley area, were less than half participating and really buying into the resources that are there for them. And so we just were awarded a district grant by Rotary International and the district to be able to enhance and infuse more resources into our Imagination Library project and cover both ends of the child spectrum. So from birth to 3, and then another component which will assist 16, 17-year-olds with the FAFSA. Filling that out to be able to enter college and also get some assistance in covering tuition costs. What we are finding is that a lot of times children don't think that college is for them because they can't afford it. And the first step in that is filling out the FAFSA. We know that most don't have access to internet. They don't have, a lot of times, parents who are college educated to assist them with that. So we are going to provide that assistance, provide the access to the FAFSA, and also Wi-Fi and the internet to get those things done. So we're excited about all of the things that we are doing around the Imagination Library that has branched off into other ways of assisting our young people.
Definitely, as you should be, because you're really supporting education just throughout the years,
Sure.
like even into early adulthood. So
sure, and as an avid reader, that that impact in the very early years, it's not just a book. Mm-hmm. It's not just access to multiple books. It is setting a precedence for education and learning that will be lifelong. It starts small, but it has the most lasting impact of probably anything that we are able to do for our young people.
Absolutely. My dad used to read to me as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started reading myself, and I just kept going and going
Yes.
and going. So sometimes it just takes that little bit of influence,
Sure.
and it'll take you so far. So that's wonderful. What you're doing is awesome work. Let's see what else we've got. The Rotary Ball.
So one of the things that is a huge paradigm shift for our club is fundraising. It's not something that we have really had to do in recent years because of the structure of our meetings and the ways that we collected money from our club. But we did some changing of that, especially given our different membership types, and making Rotary accessible meant that we now have to do a little more fundraising. So I'm trying to massage that concept with our members. But one of the things that Rotary was most known for was the Rotary Ball. And through the course of time, it just stopped happening. And so we are bringing that back. And I believe the Rotary Ball is one of the most notable activities in yesteryear that people really looked forward to. And so now that we are hosting our meetings in a place that is very accessible to us, that is very familiar to our seasoned individuals, and now to our younger members. We are going to take advantage of that and the opportunity to bring back such a successful and well-known event. So we are bringing the Rotary Ball back. We want everyone to know the Rotary Ball is back. And it will be February 16th at the historic Black Knight. And there will be lots of information and promo material coming out about that event, but we want everyone to come out and have a great time. We have a live band, one that I'm sure most people are very familiar with. We'll have Lady D and Mission entertaining us that night, so we plan to dance and dine and have a great time.
That sounds like a great time. So will this be like a formal ball? You know, everybody coming their best?
It is. We are sticking with one of the themes that has proven to be successful in the past. We're doing the Roaring Twenties. Oh. So it will be a great Gatsby theme. We love dressing up, so I can't wait to see all of the guys and the gals in their good Roaring Twenties gear and having a great time.
Well, we'll have to have you back, you know, before the ball and everything,
please.
So we can kind of talk about it some more and, you know, remind the people what's going on. February's a bit away, so we are about to close out. But before we go, do you mind plugging the website and your Facebook one more time for us?
Sure, RotaryClub.org, BeckleyRotaryClub.org, and we are the Beckley Rotary Club on Facebook. We have an amazing marketing and public image team. They are always updating our page. It's daily. We let folks know who's going to be speaking at our meetings. We are always putting pictures and events. It is a very active platform. You're even able to fill out an application from our Facebook page. And that is the most interactive and quickest way to get in contact with us. There's always someone monitoring that. You can always go to our website and not just look at what we're doing, but across the district. So interact with us. We are very out there. We are very visible. We are very interactive. We are welcoming and we are inclusive. And we are excited to really be affecting change in this part of the world.
Awesome. Thank you so much.